Coming up in NBN's local sports news, Daniel Saifidi backs his brother Jacob Saifidi to be in Brad Fittler's New South Wales squad as part of the Origin Decider. And also, we'll have a look in local rugby union, and also in ice hockey and in local hockey as well. That's in NBN's local sports news next. Good evening, my name is Conklin McLeod with NBN's local sports news. Tonight, Jacob Saifidi's State of Origin New South Wales debuted on The Good Choice. A Mayweather player faces surgery following an ankle injury which saw the Greens win in the Hunter Rugby Union. And the North Stars remain top spot following their 6-3 win over the Sydney Ice Dogs. But first, Daniel Saifidi believes twin brother Jacob will handle his State of Origin debut better than he did, declaring New South Wales had picked the right guy to get the job done in the series decider on Wednesday. Jacob, who travelled with New South Wales on the North Coast as a reserve for much of last week, was preparing on Thursday to play for the Knights. The next night, when he got the call to replace injured starting prop Jordan McLean, his late call-up, while expected, given he was the only other middle forward in the New South Wales squad. Still surprised. In some quarters, given Regan Campbell-Gillard played Origin 1 and Jacob had played down his own form. But Saifidi said his brother's recent form had warranted selection after 113 NRL games, he was well and truly ready for Origin. Saifidi said he was our player of the year last year. The stuff that the average fan might not see, but his teammates and the coaching staff appreciate. He does a lot of dirty stuff that wins you games, pushing forward, line speed, kick pressure, all the stuff that doesn't require skill, but a lot of effort. That's his game, and that's what wins you Origin games. Up until last year, Jacob had largely been in Daniel's shadow, with the latter having debuted for New South Wales in 2019. And being the preferred starter of the two props at the Knights, it was Daniel's knee injury ahead of the year's Origin series that likely opened the door for Jacob to join New South Wales as a reserve for Origin 1. Daniel, who has made 7 Origin appearances, was down on form but was likely to be selected on incumbency. But he said Jacob had come along in leaps and bounds and entered the firestorm of a Suncorp Stadium decider better to debut than when he did at 23 after 75 NRL appearances. The Origin decider will start on Wednesday. To the Shute Shield, and the Hunter Wildfires hooker Phil Bradford overcame the pain of a lingering rib injury to score 3 tries against Parramatta and inspire his team to a crucial 31-12 victory in Saturday's Shute Shield match at the No. 2 Sports Ground. Bradford, who has attracted the attention of the New South Wales Waratahs, suffered a rib cartilage injury recently. Injections to take the field in the Wildfires' previous 2 games. Coming up after the break, Mayweather's Ryan Goodman out for a few weeks because of injury.
I'm going to buy that.
Into big business now, are we?
Well, I'm quite happy with the small business I own, Louise.
Who are you banking with now, Bob?
Newcastle Permanent.
No, I know. I mean, your company banking.
Yeah, we're with the firm.
Didn't know they did business banking.
Well, I have done for quite some time now, Dad.
Oh, good move.
That's mine. Thank you.
Your business is in good hands with Newcastle Permanent.
They're our building society.
Hunter Rugby Union and Mayweather hooker Ryan Goodman faces surgery following an ankle injury, which saw the Greens' 45-0 win cut short against Singleton at Rugby Park on Saturday. Goodman required an ambulance, and after a lengthy delay, both captains agreed to call the Hunter Rugby Union fixture off early. It was the only game of round 11 of the Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union played over the weekend. And because of that, Mayweather were up against Singleton. And of course, the Greens knew what to do. Mayweather scored plenty of tries. And also, the 2 other matches between the Southern Beaches and Nelson Bay and the University in Hamilton were washed out because of the flooding emergency. And of course, Mayweather knew exactly what to do. They had to host the only match of the competition. Meanwhile, Mayweather scored back-to-back tries. Scoring was good for Mayweather. But of course, Mayweather Carlton ran with the ball. They were leaving Singleton scoreless right throughout the game. And of course, the second half came above. Mayweather knowing what to do, scoring the ball and the try. But things got absolutely worse when Ryan Goodman suffered an injury. That, of course, forced officials to call the game off early. Despite that, Mayweather won 45-0. To ice hockey, and the Newcastle North Stars have retained top spot on the Australian Ice Hockey League ladder ahead of clashes against the second and third place sides after claiming a 6-3 victory against the Sydney Ice Dogs. The North Stars scored first in the only goal of the opening period, but were forced to come from behind to claim victory after trailing 3-1 midway through the second. To local soccer, and Charleston have claimed their maiden State Cup title after accounting for defending champions Maitland 2-0 in Sunday's final at Spears Point. Brandon Williams, their mid-season signing Indiana Azimuth, scored goals during the second half, helping Zooey hold aloft the Northern New South Wales football silverware. If a win is what the Falcons women certainly wanted, is what Newcastle certainly needed. They led 10-5. Right up at the Newcastle Basketball Stadium at Broadmeadow.
Newcastle starting to find their, I'd say, mojo as a group.
Both teams scored. And of course, Newcastle were the home favourites to win.
Given that Hills aren't necessarily knocking anything down.
Nice finish there from Emmett as well for Hills. Another great kick on from Munga. Ralph in the corner.
Down.
Despite that, Newcastle led 28 to 14.
Evans goes through the middle at
Nice finish. So within seconds of the
Now 35 to 21.
Been ideal. Evans for three.
Evans knocks down her first three for the quarter.
Part of Hills.
It's what's keeping the good balls,
Strategy.
keeping the game close at the moment.
Yeah.
Munga finds
And
40.
of course, Newcastle secured a lot
They
of
want to
slam
make sure they're ready for
dunks.
that. Nice D from Kingham there.
Yeah, Newcastle started the second half.
That's a nice take from Yetsenga on Foy.
Newcastle were now on 46 to 25.
Unguarded.
And knocks it down.
Knocks down the three. And it looks like they're back in a bit of a zone as well. It's a bit of maybe a 1-2-2 here. Yep, looks like it. With Munga at the
And
top.
of course,
It's
the
not a bad
Falcons
zone.
knew
Zone there
exactly
with
what to
size they've
do.
got on the floor.
Riders for three.
Newcastle were on
At the top of
50.
that, That's an effective zone. Evans weaves the way through there and
Gets the M1.
Now 52-31. Later turned to 53 to 30. Later turned to 53 to 31.
with a nice pass. I hope they give her an
Now
assist for that, although she
55
dribbled
to
the ball.
31.
Mahoney rolls one in.
By the time the Hornets tried to score, it's too late, as Newcastle had quickly done the damage.
Oh, nice job from Kate.
Newcastle led 62 to 42.
McLean and Pentney.
It was marvellous for Newcastle.
Bit of a reward for Pentney. And it's Kingham who's probably
Newcastle
gonna dribble this
64,
one out,
Hills
rather than
Hornets
take the chance of shooting
46.
another three.
It was just incredible for Newcastle,
And there we have it.
who eventually won the game. Round 12 of the AFL Hunter Central Coast, and Cardiff was edged out by Kalani Vale, while Newcastle beat Telgor Avoca. Also, the match between Singleton and Warners Bay was called off. Still in it, and in the Black Diamond Plate men's, and Cardiff had a win. Nelson Bay hammered Telgor Avoca, while the entrants had a win, so too did Wallsend West Newcastle. To the Black Diamond Shield, and in round 12, Gosford annihilated Warners Bay. Also, Muswellbrook had a win, and also Maitland secured a victory as well. In round 12 of the Black Diamond Cup Women's competition, and Cardiff secured a win over Kalani Vale, 66-7, while Newcastle City defeated Telgor Avoca, and the match between Singleton and Warners Bay was called off because of wet weather. It was much different in round 12 of the Black Diamond Plate Women's competition. Cardiff beat Newcastle City 22-17, while Maitland hammered Kalani Vale. Telgor Avoca were too strong for Port Stephens, while Wallsend West Newcastle defeated Gosford, and the entrants Batter Bay defeated Lake Macquarie defeated the entrants Batter Bay 137 to 8. To the NSWRL's Jersey Flag Cup, and the Newcastle Knights had a great victory over the South Sydney Rabbitohs, 30 points to 60. Now let's have a quick look at the highlights. Cessnock was the only place for the Jersey Flag Cup Knights Rabbitohs game. Because of that, Newcastle secured a huge victory. And of course, the score in that was 30 to 16.
No tackles here, yep, no tackles.
And of course, locals knew exactly what to do. And of course, the Knights have scored plenty of tries when the damage was done. And of course, the Knights scored plenty more right after the break. Then, it was just marvellous for the Knights. Officially securing one of the best wins, keeping their finals dreams alive. And scoring a few more tries to win the game. 30 points to 16. And of course, one of the Knights players rammed the ball to score one of the best match-winning tries of all. But it wasn't just the Jersey Flag Cup side, it was the Knights New South Wales Cup side who also made it back to the winners circle as well by securing one of the best wins against South Sydney. It's arguably the best, and also arguably the bigger than it came, the bester it comes. And also, when the day comes, the best comes at all. And just like their Jersey Flag Cup side, the Knights New South Wales Cup side had to impress all of us Novocastrians with a win. And of course, it's what occurred right over the weekend. And of course, when the day comes, that's when every day comes. And that's when it all came to the Knights, with Newcastle securing one of the best wins. Yeah, 26-14. That of course was a comeback for the Knights and New South Wales Cup side. Okay, now to local hockey, and of course, Edward Hunt has scored a goal after the full-time siren to see North split the points with Gosford and remain undefeated this season. The ladder-leading Blues and second-place Magpies had a dramatic 2-2 draw at Central Coast Hockey Park on Sunday. Norths were awarded a penalty corner and, following a scramble inside the circle, capitalised with the last play of the Hunter Coast Premier Hockey League fixture. An initial effort rebounded before Hunt deflected a second shot into the back of the net. Tom Button also scored for the Blues in the fourth quarter. Gosford substitute Mick Taylor landed a double in the third quarter. It was 0-0 at half-time. Elsewhere on Sunday, Kobe Johnston produced a hat-trick as South beat West 6-1 in Newcastle, while the Rams hammered University 10-0 at Maitland. The Newcastle Women's Premier League had a weekend off. Meanwhile, the rest of Group 21 Rugby League has now been moved to, at about 2 weeks' time, to Saturday the 23rd of July, which means that round 12 between Greater Brankston, Denman, as well as Muswellbrook and Aberdeen and Singleton and Scone will be played on both the 23rd and the 24th of July. and it's all because of the floodings in the Hunter area. Meanwhile, there was no Newcastle Rugby League played this weekend because of the flooding disasters. And also, all teams, that includes the Cessnock Goannas, Maitland Pickers, Lakes United, Macquarie Scorpions, Kurri Bulldogs in South Newcastle, as well as Wyong, Western Suburbs, Central Newcastle, and the Entrants had to call off their games on the weekend. But however, Newcastle Rugby League will return for round 16 this weekend. Also, round 13 of the Newcastle and Hunter Rugby League Ladies League tag will start this Saturday, with Shortland taking on the Tea Gardens, while Morpeth is up against Dudley. West Wallsend are up against Cardiff, and Awabakor are up against Raymond Terrace. Anyways, that's about it for now. My name's Conley McLeod from all of us here. Good night.